It's very nice to be here. Is this on? It's very nice to be here. I'm quite loud anyway, aren't I? I don't really need it. Before you can't hear me, yeah. It's an understatement, that innit? Before I start, right, I really felt like I should say this, right? I'm just sort of fully aware how blue these shoes are. Do you know what I mean? Look, have you ever seen anything more blue in your whole life? And someone's made these. And then I went to work and I bought these with money that I worked quite hard for. You know what I mean? Basically what happened, right, was I was day drinking in Brighton on Saturday, right? And I guess at some point my shoes must have broke, right? And I must have gone shopping because I woke up the next day still wearing the bluest shoes of all time. Why? Why? I just don't know why. And to make matters sort of worse, and I know I'm not really doing it today, but 90% of my other clothes are blue as well. So I've been walking around town all week like I'm a member of the Blue Man Group or something like that. Like, listen, do you remember that Eiffel 65 song? They wrote it about these shoes, mate! You know what I mean? If you don't know who they are, by the way, they're just some French people who love singing about blue stuff. Anyway, man, I just thought I'd bring it up, right, because I feel like if you saw how blue these shoes were, it would just kind of distract you from all my jokes. Do you know what I mean? But now I realise I'm saying that. They've all so far been about how blue these shoes are, so it doesn't really matter, does it? I did my first driving lesson the other day, and when the guy turned up, he said, "Have you got your provisional licence?" And I completely forgot to order one. I just didn't even think about a licence while I was trying to get my licence. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is I'm not very clever, but I am really good at buying blue stuff. That's what I'm trying to say to you. About a week ago, not last Saturday, but Saturday before, I took my son on his first ever roller coaster at Chessington World of Adventures, or what I like to call it, Ultimate Queuing Land. Honestly, the hour and a half average queue length at Chessington. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever looked into the face of a child and seen an equal mix of boredom and fear? Do you know what I mean? It's like he was on the third year of a kidnap. Do you know what I mean? It's scary, but he's starting to settle in. Do you know what I mean? He's got some things around the house. The kidnapping room. I don't really know where people kidnap people and put them, honestly. I was going to say cave, but that really suggests a certain kind of kidnapping, doesn't it? And I don't want to sit here listing kinds of ways my son could get kidnapped, to be honest with you. But when we got on the ride, and I think it was called the Dragon's Fury, right? And it's the waltzers and a roller coaster at the same time. That's a bold move for your first roller coaster, isn't it? And when he was like, he's 11 years old, right? He was so scared. When the barrier came down, he almost burst into tears, right? So I said, listen, the only way we're going to get through this is you're going to have to shout, and I'm going to give you can swear. I was like, just swear as much as you want, and it'll just make it easier. And as soon as it started going, I was like, what have I let myself in for here? Do you know what I mean? Because he plays things like Fortnite online. I've heard what people say on Fortnite online. Do you know what I mean? He could come out of C's, like at best. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, well, what if he says something really bad? I'm going to have a serious talk with him on the next incline. Do you know what I mean? As we're going up to the next drop, I'm going to have to be like, I know I said you could swear in that, but we're going to have some serious talks about what you said. Do you know what I mean? But it turned out all right, because when we got to the top of the first drop, right, we got the first drop, and I was like, what's he going to do? All right? And he just basically, and I think this is a sign of good parenting, he just started shouting shit. I can't fucking talk. He just started shouting shit on a biscuit at the top of his voice all the time. He was just like, shit on a biscuit, going around the thing. And I think that's quite creative, isn't it? Because you don't normally shit on biscuits, do you? You don't. And if you did, you wouldn't want to eat that biscuit, would you? No, you wouldn't. I think that's all come from inside his brain. I don't know where it's heard it from. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying it's quite mad. So when we got to the end, I was like, shit on a biscuit, dude, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I don't want to brag, but I've been mistaken for a homeless person on 2 separate occasions last year. In a year predominantly known for people staying in their own house. Yeah, that's me, man. Albeit the first time, I sat outside Sports Direct with one shoe on, right, waiting for it to open, right? And an old lady gave me £1.87, right? And I took it, honestly, because at Sports Direct, that's almost all you need. That is almost all you need to get a whole other pair of shoes, right? Because when I'm not wearing the bluest shoes of all time, like honestly, I normally buy these Slazengers that cost 18 quid from Sports Direct, because for 4 years, they've been on a 70% off sale. Surely by now that's just how much they cost, isn't it? That's how much those shoes cost, isn't it? Like, because I just think it's weird that, because like, if they weren't 70% off, that means they were $89.99 at some point. Someone had gone to Sports Direct to buy sludges for $89.99. It's never happened. It's never happened in the history of the world. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying. It's weird to put an arbitrary number that the shoes have never cost. I just think it's weird. Like, they may as well be like, these shoes used to be £100,000, but now they're 900% off. It just doesn't matter. And I know the math doesn't work out very well on that, but I do stand-up comedy. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not going to sit home and make sure I'm mathematically sound. Do you know what I mean? It's just not really how it works. Right? But basically, I think a fox stole one of my shoes. Right, basically. And the reason why I think it was a fox, right? And I wasn't wearing them at the time. Like, a fox didn't just jump out of a bush with a knife. You're like, give me a fucking one shoe for some reason. I'm just saying, it's just a mad crime for a human to commit that, innit? Right? Because to steal one shoe, like, you had to walk down 2 flights of stairs to get that shoe. Do you know what I mean? It's just weird. It's like, you should believe in himself more as a criminal. Do you know what I mean? It's like he never played Grand Theft Auto as a child. Do you know what I mean? I just think, why start at a single shoe? Do you know what I mean? Start with something else, something cooler, because honestly, some crime is cool. We can agree on that, can't we? Some crime is cool, like financial crime. We've all seen The Wolf of Wall Street, pretty cool, that, isn't it? Oh, it's good. And what about, Pablo Escobar? I mean, he may have stabbed a few people, honestly, but Narcos was alright, wasn't it? Narcos was alright. I'm just saying that some crime's cool, and we need some people to be criminals. We just need them to be, because it just makes the world a better place. You need a bit of jeopardy in the world, do you know what I mean? Like, imagine films without crime. Like, what's Batman without crime? He's just like a local weirdo dressed as a bat. Like, keep your kids away from that weird Batman. Do you know what I mean? He's like a businessman by day, but he's built a giant cave in his basement. What's he doing? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's weird, isn't it? I just think, if you are a career criminal, like, good on you. Like, good on you. Honestly, just...
Be a politician then.
Exactly, or a politician, career criminal. Is he on? This guy? Is he on next? You're on next. You can be, yeah? Do you want to finish my set off? Do you want to?
Oh, yeah.
No. Okay, watch that guy. Watch that guy. Oh, I've coughed a bit there. Hey, tell you what, the best thing about the pandemic for me, right, the best thing, and I'm sure you've all got one, right, is that last year I didn't have to go to any school plays. Like, not a single one. And they're just not very good, are they? They're not very good. I mean, there's loads of good films that have got Oscars and that. Why would I want to go to a school play, right? But I'm just saying the kids can't act. They just can't act, right? Right? I went to watch my daughter in The Lion King, right? And honestly, she was quite good. And I'll tell you this, right? We went to sort of them American diners the other week, right? And she ate this plate of ribs, like, in a way that it should have been narrated by David Attenborough. Do you know what I mean? So she was quite good as a lioness, honestly. But these other kids, man, they can't act for shit. I'm just saying to you, there's a reason for it. And I'll tell you why. You have to bear with me a little bit. But are you aware that we're all mammals? Are you aware of that? We are. This isn't where it ends. It hasn't been this revelation that I've just had that we're all mammals. But I'm just saying that when we're born, as people, we can't do very much, can we? We can't. I'm not saying you're rubbish babies. We're all rubbish babies. Like, we have to lie on our backs, we have to get licked, have to buy our mums and that, but not all animals are like that. Like, for example, like a horse. When a horse is born, it just sort of trots out the womb as like a fully formed horse. It's ready to go. It's a boil in a bag horse, you know what I mean? It's just ready to get out. It's like 10 minutes later, it's just walking around a field, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm a horse! What's going on? I'm a horse! So I'm just saying to you, well, that's why I think that centaurs are just the least likely of all mythical creatures. Do you know what I mean? Because whenever you see a centaur in like a film like The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe or another centaur film, they've all made it to full adulthood, haven't they? But like in reality, if that centaur had only made it to like one year old, like the back half, the back half is a fully formed horse, isn't it? But the front half is barely even a toddler. Do you know what I mean? So that thing's just sort of crawling around on the forest floor, just being sick of itself, refusing to go to bed on time. I just don't think any of them would have survived. That's just what I'm saying. And if you are offended by any of the centaur material, don't worry. I am a Sagittarius, so I can say it's fine. By the way, halfway through that bit, I was like, none of these people know what a centaur is. None of these people know what a centaur is. Put your hand if you know what a centaur is. Where were you on that show, Jesus? So I'm an ex-northerner. I used to tell people I was from the north, right? But I lived in Brighton for 13 years, started drinking decaf tea. Do you know what I mean? I started going to support groups, and now I'm like, fuck the north. Do you know what I mean? I had an anxiety attack in December 2019, and I finally felt like I belonged. Do you know what I mean? I finally felt like I belonged. Basically, what I thought, when I had this anxiety attack, I thought I was having like one of those like young man's heart attacks that you see sometimes sports people get. Right, which is weird because the most active I ever am is sort of watching Match of the Day on my sofa in my pants, you know what I mean? But so I phoned the non-emergency number. How British is that? Do you know what I mean? I thought I was dying. And I phoned that 011 or whatever, I can't remember what it is, but I phoned it up. And she was like, well, if you think you're having a heart attack, honestly, get yourself down to hospital. And she was like, you know, best way to get there, take a taxi. And this is the reason when I realised I wasn't going to die, I was like, taxi? That's going to be like 15 quid, that. I smoked 2 fags during my heart attack, do you know that? When I got to the hospital, the receptionist was there. I felt like I had to say something. So I just said, I'm sorry, I just don't think I'm having a heart attack. And she was like, well, thanks for coming all the way down here to tell us that. Do you know what I mean? Thanks for showing up. It's in this pandemic, do you know what I'm saying to you? It's weird. But anyway, that's my time. I watched this Spice, so I'm going to go. But thanks for coming out. I love doing opening nights because people come to opening nights. But I'd like to come back again, so please also come back again. All right.